I'm sorry to say that my mother and father are both gone. My mother passed away first, and then 3 years ago my father passed away. And the epitaph on their tombstone is, "To live in hearts we leave behind means not to die." So on their tombstone it says, "To live in hearts we leave behind means not to die." Now, hopefully not many of you have lost both your parents. But if you do, if you have, you've joined that club. It's not a great club to be in. And for some of you in the Mothers Club, some of you teachers that are here, if you've lost one parent, it's one thing. If you've lost both parents, you know. If you've lost them, it's another. What do you do with that grief? In my case, I decided to put something behind that. To live in hearts we leave behind means not to die. And my mom, as I said, I've written a book about her easily, but my dad was one of those people that was just larger than life. He was so outgoing. He had so many stories. You couldn't possibly be around him without him sharing a little bit of wisdom. So what I did was, after he passed away, I decided to write a book about him. Now, it's a published book now. I mean, a real-time book. It's the coolest thing. I'm an author. I would never have expected it. But other than the title Mother, I don't think there's a cooler title to have than author. And the book actually started out like this. On what would have been my dad's 90th birthday, I gifted my family members with this book called Lunch Meat Life Lessons. Why Lunch Meat Life Lessons? And why the Mary and Lucas BD? Can anybody guess what my father did?
Butcher.
He was a butcher. Bicklemeyer Meat Company, Kansas City, Kansas. Anybody hear of it? It's pretty darn good, I will say. Best ribeyes on the planet. But Bicklemeyer Meats, Kansas City, Kansas. My dad was a butcher. And here he was, after he passed away, with all these stories. And my son, my youngest son Nick, is the youngest grandchild on the Bicklemeyer side. Now, I told you I'm number 9 or 10. So what I didn't tell you is now we have over 112 in my immediate family. So my son Nick already had cousins. I have a nephew who's my age. My little sister Barbie was named the moment she was born. So the net of it all was we had this huge family. And we had a grandpa, a great-grandpa, and a dad that had all these stories that I wanted to make sure I captured for those who weren't going to get a chance to know him very well. So I put it in this book, I gifted it to my family on what would have been his 90th birthday, and the rest is just such an incredible story. The next thing I know, we're getting so many requests for this book, and from Kinko's it was $57 a copy because it's all color copies. And so I started getting requests from business owners. Dave Lockton from Lockton Insurance asked to share the book with 500 of his quote-unquote producers, people that actually are the salespeople. And what ended up happening was I can't really share it in this version. So I had it published. And now here we are. Lunch Meat Life Lessons, Sharing a Butcher's Wisdom by Mary B. Lucas BD, Butcher's Daughter. And so here I am, a published author, standing up in front of you. And I was asked to come join you because of a little speech that I did at the Sustainers Luncheon with the Junior League. And the ripple effect keeps coming. So I write this book, I share it with some people, I'm thinking maybe, there'll be a couple hundred copies out there and Dad's wisdom lives on. The legacy to live in hearts we leave behind means not to die will continue. That's not the case. We just sold the rights to have this book published in Korea. Go figure that. We keep getting endorsements and people that ask me to come speak. And I've been to McLennan, Texas, and talked to the Texas Area Principals Association. I've been to the Bellagio in Las Vegas. I've been to businesses. I've been to schools. All as a result of writing a book about my dad. So when I answered the question, or asked you the question, how did I get from being where you are today to where I am? I listened. I listened to my parents. Who knows what can happen if you